Good evening, everybody. Welcome to Footy Abroad. We are here. We are live. It is Tuesday, the 29th of April, 2025. We got cups of tea. We've got mother drinks. We've got it all, guys.
Got it all.
Hello to all of you. What's going on?
Good evening.
Hello. Fucking how good. The Blues are back, baby. The Blues are fucking back. Premiership incoming. 17 incoming. Let's go.
No.
Let's go. No. We're talking them up. Huge.
Not yet. Not yet. We're going to learn our lessons from the past.
Nah, fuck it. Let's just talk about it. Build it up.
About it.
Oh, goddamn. How are we all? How are we feeling?
We are good. Do we want to address the elephant in the room?
What's the Pommy's haircut?
Whoa.
Yeah.
Is that the elephant in the room? Oh.
I was like, what's the elephant in the room? God damn.
The, like Cristiano Ronaldo prime haircut.
Thanks, lads. I appreciate it. I mean, you make me sound like I'm like a circus freak. Like it's like once a year I get my haircut. Do you know what I mean? Like, Jesus.
I don't think we've acknowledged your haircuts ever on this show. So this is a Footy Abroad first.
This is a first. Yeah.
Absolutely. Breaking news.
Your lives are getting sadder, I tell you. Like you really need to start releasing more content, boys. But no, thank you. I have had my hair did, just for you guys actually. So if you are a Pommin Ozzer, you'll have noticed the video that went out this morning. So now I've lost about 12 kgs of hair. So yeah, that's good.
That's looking good, Carlton are winning when I start talking about hair.
I've got Says asking, is it an acceptable haircut, Terry? Because you are the haircut
It says a lot about how you're feeling about yourself right now, mate. Fresh, clean, sharp.
Yeah, he's up and about. Yeah. He's confident.
Yeah. Look good, feel good, play good.
Yeah.
So if I went out against Adelaide this weekend, you'd feel confident?
Absolutely.
Oh, well, there you are. That's all I need to know. I feel good now.
Although what I like about the hair is you've done it early in the week, and I think it'll settle by Saturday, and that's when it's primed. You know, I like that you've done it early in the week.
Mate, I'd have look, 30 touches, 3 goals, mate. Ragdoll ranking.
Yep. Well, I think this might have a similar feel to it as it did last week. We'll go around the room, get a feel for how everyone's team went. Well, I guess we'll just start at the top, at the very top. Swoop Luke. The Pies are flying, mate.
Oh, mate, 6-1. It's incredible compared to. I think we were like 12th or 13th on the ladder this time last year. We're flying. We're absolutely flying. Everything is just working really well. You know, Dan McStay going down with that knee injury. Will slow us down a little bit, but thankfully it's an MCL and it's not because it was the same knee that he did his ACL on at the start of last year. So that's some good news in a shit situation. But yeah, we are buzzing in Collingwood land right now. Channel's doing well. It's I got to talk to Collingwood's president last week, so that was absolutely incredible. That blew my mind. They took me through. So I had to sit down for 45 minutes with him. Part 2 comes out tomorrow. I got to walk through the club. It was
nice,
mind blowing, absolutely mind blowing.
Wow! Congratulations, mate. As we said,
thank you
in the group chat. That's
yes, thank you. Thanks, guys.
One small step for man, one giant leap for fan channels.
100. Hey, just following in you guys' footsteps. You know, you guys paved the way and made it a little bit easier for me.
Did we?
Yeah, we gave him a call, didn't we, Terry? We went up to
you guys have had big names, big names on there. You guys both talk to presidents, have you not? Yeah.
Yeah, but we both talk to presidents. I think the biggest name I've had on the channel is Eddie Maguire, to be fair.
Yeah, mine was before Barry. It would have been Eddie for me as well. Or Paul Curio. But yeah, no, it was. But anyway, it was good. It was really good. Pies are flying, and yeah, like nothing can sort of take me down now. We take on the Cats. So this is the only time you'll hear me say it. So if you guys want to timestamp this, I just want to say thanks to Carlton for the blueprint on how to beat the Cats. So we should be, fingers crossed, we should be 7-1 by this time next week.
Okay, I love it. Why don't we go to the other end, Jake? What's the Saints story and what happened and where are you at, mate? And how are you?
I wanted to somehow send footage of last week when you asked me this question, so you could just replay it because it's the same shit, different week, really. We played Brisbane. I don't know how many people expected us to get within 45. I certainly expected a little bit of a response. I don't know if it meant winning, but it meant being competitive and being, at least test them and give them something to worry about. But for people that watched, they looked like they were a little bit in second gear. They made mistakes and they could get away with them. That's when I knew we weren't on. They could make mistakes and we didn't capitalize and they would end up scoring from it anyway. But in a nutshell, 7 weeks in, we've played 5 of the top 8. The lowest team we've played is Richmond. Everyone else has been above us. I don't know. We've been favourites, I think, in one game this year, and that was Richmond. Every other game we've been underdogs. I don't know. Is 3 and 4 underperforming, or is it exactly where people would have tipped us? I dare say that's exactly where all of you would have picked us pre-season with the fixtures that we probably had. Maybe the Bulldogs game was the 50-50 I thought we might beat. We might take hold of to skew the win-loss in our favour, but we didn't. And I think all the teams we've lost to last year. So disappointing we couldn't pinch a few extra wins along the way. But Freo and Carlton, 2 winnable games. I think I'll know a bit more in the next 2 weeks than I have in the last 2 weeks. That's my opinion anyway. So 3 and 4, I'm not in panic mode like a lot of people are and going off at Ross for subbing a kid and all this shit. That's footy. That's how you build a culture. That's how you become serious. And yeah, Friday night, good turnaround too to bounce back against Fremantle.
Yeah. Well, Jake and I went on a little breakfast date this morning, lads. Don't know if you know that.
It was pretty good, wasn't it? It's a good feed. Yeah. The scrambled.
I didn't realize how tough that fixture was. And I agree. I think 3 and 4 is kind of exactly where I think most of us would have tipped the Saints to be. Like maybe take one of those scalps of those tough teams. 4 and 3 maybe best case scenario for some. But I'm not jumping off the Saints yet.
No, what do we got? Dogs, Giants, Brisbane the last 3 weeks. We beat Port away, got flogged by Adelaide away, smashed Richmond, beat Geelong. I don't know. Where's that extra room? Can someone tell me a game there where we should have... it's the way we lost. It's not the win-loss. It's the way we've lost. So I'm not going to gloss over that. Percentage says it. We're like 85%. That means when we're losing, we're giving up big scores. Last 3 weeks over 100 points, which is not what you would say is something a Ross Lyon team would usually do. But I think that's trying to find that balance of attacking football and defending football. And modern day football is all about attack. Look at the Pies. Look at the Giants at their best. Look at the Crows. Look at Carlton on the weekend. It's all about attack.
I think you could have stolen the Giants one. So I was there at Norwood Oval, and that first quarter was you guys played really well. I think you just were capitalising, but I just looked at the fixture. That was probably the only one that you could have potentially stolen because like you said, everything else has been a bit of a how's it going?
Yeah.
Pommy, how did our Blues go, mate? What was the story?
Oh, mate. Hey, look, it was the execution that, of Voss brand, wasn't it? Manic pressure, blue collar at its finest, and everything came together, didn't it? It's the 4 quarter, it's the 2023 model, isn't it? Where everyone is tackling, the Blues are up and about, they're having a bit of fun, and poor Geelong. Geelong couldn't cope with it, could they? And I don't think many teams can. And that is the bottle, isn't it? That's the bottle of the Blues. It's the big question is, can you do that for 24 weeks plus finals every week without fail? That's probably the next question. But credit to Voss. I've been heavily critical of him and the plan B and the plan C. There's no doubt about it when plan A has the bells and whistles on it. Plan A is incredible. Is incredible and impossible to play against. And big test this week. Hey, out and love narratives. We are the narrative Blues. I mean, if you look at Carlton, what Adelaide? We've beaten Port there, and then we've beaten two teams when we've had to go to Adelaide in their Mickey Mouse fixtures. This is a big test, isn't it? This is the huge test for the Blues. Knock off Adelaide. You've squared the ledger, and the sky's your limit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was very excited. I think I was just more relieved to know that we actually got the job done against Geelong. I think anyone who beats Geelong, generally, you can't downplay it because I think most of us have that respect for the Cats. I think for Carlton, a lot of the talk over the last few weeks was, oh yeah, it's only West Coast, it's only North Melbourne. I don't think you use that same rhetoric for a team like Geelong, and especially when that fourth quarter starts and they kick the first 3 goals and it's a 2-goal game and you're like, okay, here's the story again. The Blues are about to fall away again. But it was gritty. I don't know. I don't think we're back, but I think it builds the confidence. And I said this earlier to Jake today. If we go on and beat the Crows, beat the Saints, go to Sydney and beat the Swans, I'm just warning everyone. It'll be so obnoxious. Like that'd
be 7 in a row, or would it? Yeah. So you're every right to be fucking obnoxious if you knock 7 off in a row. Yeah. Interesting. So. It's an interesting turn of events. Like you see the narrative from what I've been seeing online just absolutely shift. The people that were ready to set the Icon Park on fire are like, man, I knew this is going to work. Like, come on.
Oh, yeah.
the 180 foot. But you're right. You can't. I was even I wanted to find something bad to say. It's like, oh, it's Geelong. They're old, but they've been really well this season. So you can't say anything. What you just said, Terry. You can't knock it back and say it's only Geelong because they're a really good side this year so far.
Mm.
So, yeah, look, it's just good to not be burning down the club and sacking everyone for a change for a week. So we'll see.
Yeah, we will see. We will see. It's going to be an interesting week.
All right. Shall we get cracking into the questions?
Actually, before we get cracking, because someone just said in the comments, that Jane Bunn thing with the cat, dude. Oh, my God. I died of cringe on the couch watching it. That was the most insane thing I've ever seen in my whole entire life. Oh my God.
Look, man, I don't start these things, right? I see them and it's like when Carlton lose, I'll tell you what I've noticed. When Carlton lose, you watch any review I do, watch any review Pommy does, watch any review that any Carlton content creator does. It's always like, we got battered, we were shit, the opposition were too good. We don't come out and say, none of those excuses. Carlton fans are the most critical of Carlton when Carlton lose, period.
Yeah.
So when I see opposition fans trying to have a crack and not show the respect, I'm going to bite back. I'm going to do it. I will
But to blame it on the weather girl. The weather lady. That is insane. That's insane.
Good fun.
Funny though. Good laugh. Anyway.
It is good fun. So let that just be a warning. Like, leave the Blues alone, man. We will banter our own team when we need to. Trust me.
Catman.
So Catman.
Shout out Catman. Well done. Let's start. Let's get cracking.
Let's do it.
Jake, you want to kick us off?
Yes, and this is a topic that is very prevalent in my world at the moment, and I thought it'd be good to discuss. Can true passion for your club survive constant heartbreak? Is there ever a breaking point where loyalty fades, or is the pain part of the privilege of being a football supporter? First of all, does anyone know anyone that used to love football and fell out of love?
Yeah.
That's not something...
Yeah.
Oh, you do? Okay.
Well, not like my brother's fiance. So her dad was a passionate Essendon guy. Absolutely loved the club. Would go every single week. And then, the drug scandal sort of happened, and then they were really bad and stuff. And he still follows it passionately. Like me and him were watching the Collingwood Essendon VFL, and he knew Essendon VFL players that I didn't even know existed. So he still follows it, but doesn't go every week like he used to. Fell out of love with not the game, but with the club and the direction that they were going in. We'll still watch it and stuff. Still a member, but just doesn't go because that love he can't sort of get back at the moment.
Right. Terry?
So to answer the first part of your question, is there a breaking point? Oh, I don't think so. Like there are moments of serious consideration. I have these moments from time to time when it gets really bad. I actually have these conversations with Pommy every time it happens. We have this, it's the same conversation. Like, what the fuck are we doing? Like, they don't deserve what are we wasting our lives for? Like, they're so villainous. Like, so like there's those moments, but I'm never going to stop watching. I'm never going to not support. I'm never going to completely give up. And it's a strength and it's a weakness if I'm honest.
Yeah.
Because it is just a game and it is just football. But I don't know. I'm just stubborn that when I put my time into something, it's like, okay, well, we're here now. I want to see it out. I want to see the flag. So I don't think I'll be giving up. But yeah, it's tough, man. I think if the drug scandal had have happened to Carlton, that would have rocked me too.
That's a big one. Yeah.
That would have rocked me too. I mean, there are many Essendon supporters that sit in the camp of, oh, we did nothing wrong, and that helps them back their club. But there are many Essendon supporters who I know who like just draw the line and say, well, we fucking cheated, and I can't stand for that. So it's a tough one. Yeah,
it's almost like it's not the heartbreak of results, but it's almost the club's betraying, I guess, the supporter trust, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that would be because I guess I didn't answer the first question. I think the heartbreak is all a part of it. Like it would take, like what Terry just said, it would take something catastrophic from the club, from Collingwood, to make me just give up just everything. Like it would take, some sort of systemic betting, drug scandal, something huge. Like you can deal with a couple of club statements. We've dealt with, in my life, I've seen 3, 4, almost like 4 losing grand finals. Like, and but that heartbreak makes the other ones the wins sweeter. So I think it's all part and parcel.
Yeah. So like Giga Chad, I mean, I was 10 years old.
Giga Chad, it's been a while.
Yeah. When this happened, I was 10 years old. I mean, my memory of footy doesn't kick in, so I don't really attach. I don't know, maybe there were Carlton supporters that haven't been the same since it happened, but I don't have a memory of that in my experience, so it didn't affect me as much. My memory kicks in after it all happened, so it's a tricky one.
Pom?
I don't want to come across judgmental. I question anyone that does fall out of love, regardless of what it is. So to Luke's point, whatever my Man United do or whatever Carlton do, you can separate from the people governing the club, but you love the club. Do you know what I mean? You love the club. And I'm trying to think of times that I've not wanted to watch my teams. The only time I can think of is my pop died, and it was probably the hardest. It was the last year. It was the last time United won Bye, Terry. It was the last time a Premier League title was won by United. And so that makes it even sadder for me. But yeah, he died. And I found it really hard to watch like the last 8 weeks of that season. But I think the beautiful part of it is I remember when United won the title, I burst into tears because I looked to my right and he wasn't there and it felt like he was there. And so, like, for me, yeah, I don't know how you can do it because if you love something, it's a bit like your wife and your kids, isn't it? Like, they piss you off. And sometimes, you question your decision. You're like, I've put myself here. I've chosen to. But, like for me, yeah, if I'd question anyone's love. It's the same though. I'm a weird guy. I question it when people keep saying, oh, it's all right, we're 0-4. Oh, it's all right. In 2018, we've won 2 games. It's going to be okay. Because to me, if you love something, you want it to be at its best and you're heavily critical, but you also heavily love it with the criticism. So, yeah, like for me, yeah, never. My love for Man United and my love for Carlton hasn't changed from the day I chose to love them.
Do you think that, like, to the point of heartbreak, the more unsuccessful maybe a club is in grand finals and in those big moments, the more, I guess, the more you should stay on board, the more passionate fans are. Like, say for Geelong fans out there, and comment if you're watching, Catman, if you're watching, let me know. If you're not eating dinner at this point, but
No.
please don't
Shit
do that.
in the litter tray.
He's checking the weather. He's watching Jane Bunn's weather report. But yeah, I've lost track now. Stuff me with the meow. Well, like a Geelong fan, like going through so many premierships, expecting success versus a St Kilda or maybe a North Melbourne supporter. Do you think it's more likely that they lose interest because they've seen it all, they've done it all, and they don't care as much anymore? Can you lose interest because of success on the flip side? Like Man City supporters, Luke, you're a Man City supporter.
Yo,
do you? Yeah, does it kind of not feel as important, like even losing the title this year versus other years because you've done it so many times? Like,
yeah, I guess losing the title, it always when you're in a title race. But we had that period where 11 games we just didn't get a win in like 11 games or whatever it was. I don't think my interest sort of only wanes during AFL season when I'm watching the EPL. So it doesn't wane because of the soccer or because of our results or anything like that. It's because I can't afford to get up at 2 or 3 in the morning anymore as much as I do now. So it doesn't wane. But I guess I can see where Pom is coming from. But yeah, if the CEO or president was doing a whole salary cap thing and rorting, I don't think I'd be able to separate the club from, because that's just tainted to me now.
Yeah, okay.
But there's always the beauty about life and stuff. It's you can always mend that, just like Essendon would, just like any other club and supporter can, over time.
Yeah. Oh, nice.
What about you, Jake? Do you have a breaking point?
I mean, I think I've been tested, to be honest. I think I don't think the club can stretch me much more. I think there was a moment last year where there were talks of us looking at Taron Thomas, I think, or like there was murmurs, that sort of shit happening. And that was when that was the first time, since I've done the channel, since I've been a supporter, where I had fans genuinely not even considering making statements saying, if this happens, I'm cancelling. I am not going to be a St Kilda supporter. I think to be fair, that was pretty valid at the time. And I think, like that's kind of the level that you'd have to go to. The club would have to do something like that. But win-loss, I mean, I can't. I think I've seen one wooden spoon in my life. One. Like I don't think it gets much worse than 2014 Saints or whenever it was and we won 2 or 3 games. I don't think it gets much worse than that to test the loyalty. But, when you've gotten, sometimes when you've come this far, you got to see it through. You got to see the promised land at some point.
And it's like that meme, with the dude that's mining and he keeps going down the hole and he turns back, but there's diamonds just on the last one.
Yeah. Like you've come this far. You just got to keep going at this point.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I wouldn't wake up one day and think, "Geez, this club's shit. I'm not gonna follow them anymore." You know, I couldn't not. Same with Arsenal. I get up at 3 in the morning, 4 in the morning, every game. I don't do my reviews, but I get up and watch them. You know, so
Bring the channel back, Jake.
I know.
Yeah.
Subscribe. A gunner down under.
Bring
Shit, I shouldn't have put it out there. Let's go. Yeah. Thanks for your answers. I don't know if there are any comments out there. I didn't see any pop up, but
Someone just said about Sandpaper Gate for the cricket as well.
Oh yes, yep.
See, something like that would
Oh yeah.
that would kill you. Like, I don't even follow cricket, but even that put me off. Like, just the Australian team, just in general, you know, like that's who we were labelled as, and that's still going along.
Yeah. Finals. That's a good call.
I sense this with Geelong supporters too. They just have this experience of watching finals footy now that they don't panic during the season too much.
Yeah.
I wish I knew how to do that. I just haven't had a reason to be calm during a season yet. It's always turbulent. It's always a hole and then like a run. It's never consistent.
Yeah, I think the Hoops crew, I don't imagine they'd be melting after a loss on the weekend. You know what I mean?
Really?
Or did they? I haven't checked. But
No, this time last year, it was one of the funniest things I've ever seen because they invited me. They invited me on this week as well, but I didn't do it. But the last time, that was the most surprising thing. They were like, season was over, and I had to go on there and go, "You'll be there at the end of the year." Like,
do they not know who they follow? Do they not know the team they actually follow?
No, but like obviously being a United fan, I'm lucky enough to have been brought up in the most prolific era of sport ever. We were dominant, and I don't think we took the League Cup, the Coca-Cola Cup, or the Carabao Cup as it's now known, or whatever entity we're calling it. You'd go into that and not care about it. But I genuinely don't understand how, if you're a football team, any sporting team, or any way of life, you should want to win 24 hours a day. Aside from pre-season, when there's points on the line, the whole aim should be, it always was at United, we go 38 games unbeaten, we win Europe, win the FA Cup, we do everything. So, like, I'd question any Geelong fan if they're going, only the home and away season, because it creates fear, doesn't it? Do you know what I mean? It creates fear. If you went 23 games in the AFL season, you'd shit yourself playing them in finals.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
Righto. I'll go next. Great question. So I wanted to look at, and this is a very broad question for the three of you and also the chat. And I wanted to explore things that you do outside of your jobs. So other side hustles or other businesses maybe that you've tried to create in the past. Like, is there anything else you're working on, I guess, for you guys other than your channels? And then those of you in the audience, do you have something that you work on the side from work, or has there been a journey? I want to try and understand things that people have worked on, because it's all a journey. Like, you know, whether it's failed or whether it's succeeded and it led you to the next thing. What are some other things that you work on, whether it's a product, service, or something?
I'll start, I guess. I got a social media business, freelance business. So I've been doing that since maybe 2014. I started it under a different name, and I remember I was in between jobs. So I'd worked at an agency, they'd let me go, and then I was kind of job hunting and getting sick of the interviews and everything. And I didn't have the experience because I just came out of uni. So it was that classic case of, you just don't have enough experience, but that job is going to give me experience, but you don't get the job to get the experience. So I remember sitting in my dad's Jeep outside Porsche Melbourne, Australia, or Porsche Melbourne Centre or whatever, Porsche Centre Melbourne, I think it is, near Richmond or Pund Road, and I remember telling him, instead of finding a job, I think I'm just going to create myself a job. I remember saying that to him, like, I'm just going to do it. Like, I'm not going to find an agency to give me work. I'm going to go get the work. So I started going to like every cafe. I remember like my Facebook messages, I'd go on there and message every single restaurant, cafe in Melbourne and go, hey, I can do your website. I can do your social. Give me a call. And I'd send 400 a day. 400, I think now you cap it at 100. You're basically a spammer. But I would land, I'd have cafes calling me back and I'd get the deal, like I'd get them as a client on the phone that day, which was crazy. I don't think you could really do that now. But I thought utilizing social to get clients was kind of showing that I'm pretty good at it. And yeah, now I just kind of work with cafes and, you know, there's there's one in Albert Park. They're awesome. A nice sushi bar. And, yeah, during lockdown, there was a stupid one. I tried to do cat like toys and stuff, like drop shipping. I tried to do that.
That's clever.
Because that was a big thing. Because I know one of my mates, he started drop shipping, or he knows a guy that did bath bombs drop shipping, and now he makes like, I can't say, but it's like it's a ridiculous amount of money per month for bath bombs, and he doesn't know anything about it. He built a website, and Valentine's Day and all these special days come up, he sells out, and I was like, what's something people like? I was like, you know, people have pets, pet toys, pet things. Tried to do that, didn't really take off, but then yeah, social's kind of been the one for me. And so yeah, that's like matches with what my interests are, and I get to do it remotely. And the one thing I always like to strive for is doing a job that I can do anywhere. You know, be able to do it overseas, do it remotely, wherever, anytime, low overheads, but sort of be able to help different clients. So yeah, that's kind of been my journey. And I guess it's probably helped with Saints TV, to be honest, doing that much social for so many different, you know, I've had Renault, I did it with Fiat Alfa Romeo, I've done it with most cafes in Melbourne. Yeah, so that's kind of
huge.
the ongoing journey, yeah.
Wow. How do we get in contact with you for your services, or anyone that is listening or watching that wants to hire you?
It's called JB Socials, so they can just Google that, or just DM me on Insta, and happy to chat. But yeah, Facebook, Insta, do videos, do websites, Facebook ads, whatever you want. What are you smiling at, Pommy?
Brian's comment absolutely got me. I'm 12 years old mentally.
Mailing cats. Far out, Brian. There's a big cat theme this week. It's a lot of cat talk.
Lots of
but anyway,
talk.
Yeah, we digress. That's my little backstory.
Love that. Pommy, what do you got, mate?
Oh God. Well, I mean, I have a lot of time on my hands. I work for myself. I still keep a very small lesson book that I do. Lucky to have a little golf simulator here, so I don't really have to walk too far. I just walk out the back. Do a few online lessons as well for a couple of mates back in the UK. But one thing that I've been doing for about 2 years, great mate of mine runs a project called Big Bros back in my hometown in the UK. And that's a specialist service for people that grow up in single parent households. So they can have like a big brother, effectively, a male role model that they can chat with online, be there for them, take them through life lessons, someone to bounce off who's someone outside of their family that they can have guy-to-guy conversations. So I've got 3 or 4 young blokes ranging from 14 to 21, and like we play COD. Wonderful thing about internet, like we can play COD, we talk to each other regularly through WhatsApp, and they can share things with you, you know, that obviously that it's kind of hard to share with mum and not have that. And that's really cool. That keeps me occupied because, like, obviously I do that professionally with my kids. So it's nice to do that. So I like doing them things. And then I've got loads of weird and wonderful things I do in my spare time.
So online golf lessons.
Yeah.
I like it. Yeah, there's a serious
never-
market.
Yeah, I've
Serious
never
market
golfed in
for
my
it.
life. Ever.
Yeah,
It
no,
is
I
niche.
can't
It is
golf.
niche. I mean, it's. I would say, without bagging my mate's business, I would say it's the biggest con in the world, because it's quite hard to do it visually without actually being there in the nitty gritty. And I'm quite hands on. I like to grab you and throw you in the position, because I believe if you feel it, you can do it. But yeah, it's good fun. I like doing the visuals. I prefer people coming out in my back garden and we play with the simulator, and I can get hands on and hold you and nurse you through the way to do it.
You have one of those like nets where you can just whack the bloody thing in.
So we got a
Yeah,
track
and-
man out the back, so that's a lot of money. That's a lot of money out the back. They're a few thousand K. So, but it is a net, but it's a big white sheet, and then there's a projector.
Yeah, and then it like tells you where you. I've seen that on TikTok and stuff.
Yeah, it's quite good in the summer. In the summer, it's quite good because you can play online actually against people. So
Whoa, that's cool.
That's
cool.
That's quite good. But yeah, it's good fun.
I like it.
Nice.
Luke? This was a side
So
hustle, and then now it's not.
I was just about to say this was a side hustle. So I started Swoop in 2019. So I was doing sign writing and graphic design for 10 years while I started Swoop, and then I went into interior designing for a curtains and blinds company. And then I thought, you know what, throw caution to the wind, jump into the deep end, and now my side hustle, which was Swoop, is my quote unquote full-time job. We're still swimming in the deep end. So it's still a work in progress. Thankfully I've got, a bunch of savings and stuff that sort of helped me through, but the channel is starting to grow. I am looking for other things to do, to bring a little bit more income. Like when you asked this question, or when you said this is what I'm asking in the group chat, it did give me time to reflect, and it gave me time to reflect in the way where I've been sort of thinking like, okay, I probably need some sort of part-time job to just have a little bit more money flowing in, and then it's like the angel and the devil on my shoulders, because a part of me is saying, man, if you jumped into this full time and you want to get a part-time job at a cafe, do you not believe in yourself, like that you can make this your full-time work? Do you not believe that you can do this? So it is a bit of an internal battle that I'm sort of going through. But I do have ideas going through my head. I want to do something with that board game that I'm working on, which I think will be really, really cool. I'm currently coding up like I told you guys a couple of weeks ago, I'm currently that I like D&D and stuff. So I'm currently coding up a Dungeons and Dragons monster generation, like a regen sort of thing, where you can sort of a generator. So it gives you like stat blocks and stuff if you're doing Dungeons and Dragons like without the book. So you're kind of making the worlds up and stuff yourself. So I've been working on that in the background, looking at doing some sort of like PT course as well, now that I've shed 20 plus kilos, because I know what it takes and everything that sort of goes into it. So there is a lot that I can do, but I've told myself I'm going to give myself till the end of the season, whenever that is, reassess, and then see what happens.
Yeah. It's such an interesting comment you make there, because, I can resonate. I mean, there's that journey to quitting your job and going all in on the channel. And then at some point, I definitely resonate with that. I was like, I need to do something outside of Carlton, because not that I hate what I do, but like just for sanity, it's important to do something that's outside of the Blues. And I mean, to be honest, this show really does help with that, because it's a night of the week where I don't just talk about the Blues only. But I can so resonate with what you just said there.
Yeah, it's a big mental battle some days. Some days it's really just a sort of gut punch, and I'm just having bloody doona days on the couch where I just can't get up, and there's still sort of bouts that I sort of depressive bouts and stuff that I sort of go through with it, but I'm determined to signing with doing what I'm doing now, and getting the president on. I've got a good backing now. I've laid the foundations. It's just about look, I've never done this stuff to be reciprocated, but now that it's my full-time job, I'm ready to fucking kick it up a gear and get the fruits of my labor working hard.
Oh, it's good to hear you say that. Yeah,
thank you.
Yeah, when I quit full-time law, I remember saying like, oh, don't think I could ever go back to it. I actually find now that law is the side hustle in a really weird way. So, I mean, at this point, I do wills for people, sort of as a side hustle, freelance whenever it pops up. And that helps me get away from footy as well. But I definitely have had moments throughout the years where it's like, oh, maybe 1 day a week, 2 days a week, just go into a team environment, because the reality is it's isolating, it's lonely. Like it's your home. I work from home. I need to get out of the house to go do things and socialize and see people and get that that touch with people. I guess I do get it virtually, because most of the live streams that I do are at night. So it's not that I don't get human interaction, but there's something different about having human interaction in real life. So yeah, that's kind of that's the interesting part for me. I've flipped I never really did the channel while being a full-time lawyer. It was more so when I was living overseas and working in a sports tech company, and then I was doing this on the side. But yeah, I definitely can't see myself going back to law full-time in an office working for someone. I think I'll always have this work for myself mentality. That's valuable to me, to have that full responsibility. So yeah.
Yeah, that's cool. Because you were doing that advice stuff, right? Is that not you're not doing that anymore?
I haven't taken on clients there for a while. I do a little bit of management as well. Like I've got little things little seeds that have been planted. But in terms of what is my key focus right now, this is the full focus. And then I write wills for people. I do general consulting for people, whether it's in business or whether it's contracts, things like that. Yeah, there's always a lever to pull, but I find in season I lock in more on the channel, and then in the off season I allow myself to do other things. Because for me, the season takes you. I mean, it's round 7. We just blinked. It's round 8 coming up. So yeah.
Yeah, there's no gap.
So yeah.
Yeah, it's a good question. It's good to see what everyone sort of where everyone sort of is at the moment. It's nice.
Yeah. Going
deeper.
Luke, what do you got, mate? What do you got for us?
Mine's not as deep as those first two amazing questions. So this came into my, as you know, I like to do hot topics at the moment in football. And this came into my mind because I saw that Tassie were going to they're going to get the first round pick in 2027. There's talks of them. Initially there wasn't, but now that there are talks of them getting that first round pick. But Tassie leaves us with 19 teams in the competition, and we know that that's just not going to work. There's going to be someone copping a bye every single week, just like when Gold Coast came in, and it's just going to be the worst couple of years while that sort of happens. So a 20-year team would be definitely on the cards. Definitely something is people are talking about. I want to know where you guys think a 20-year team would come from, or do you think teams will get cut and there'll be less teams?
Oof. I don't think teams will get cut.
It would be hard to, unless it's a merger.
Anyway. Because we know which clubs they'll talk about, obviously.
Obviously, yeah.
Yeah. Where were they? Darwin?
People saying Darwin, could that sustain? I guess I was going to say, could that sustain a team because it's so hot, but Perth is pretty hot as well. Like, West Australia is really hot. So
Yeah, Canberra's one because the Giants play in Canberra occasionally, don't they?
yeah, it's a second home, isn't it?
Yeah. Got to be a team.
I think the problem with the NT though is it's the amenities, isn't it? It's the amenities, the weather. That's the thing that go against them. I know the NRL speculated because from memory, I think the biggest supported team NRL is Parramatta from Northern Territories, and like it's hard to get to. Do you know what I mean? It's not as regular with the flights. I think.
Yeah.
You look at its population as well; it's sparsed out. So I mean, you'd probably have to. I reckon you'll see it. I reckon they'll do something that will encompass Northern Territory, but be somewhere like Cairns, somewhere like that.
Yep.
And they'll say, here's 4 or 5 games in Northern Territory when it cools down, but they will be like the representative side of that state.
Yeah. Could Queensland sustain another club though? Seeing how, Gold Coast are coming good after 13 years or whatever it may be. Could they sustain another club, or do we put another club? What my idea would be is Western Australia, West Coast have, again, another 100,000 members. They've got a 50,000 member waiting list. There's clearly a want for, there's a lot of supporters there. Western Australia is huge. You could easily sustain a third club in WA or a South Australian team.
I think WA would be more likely than South Australia if that was the two.
Do you think there comes a point where you can't add any more teams into the comp, or do you think you keep adding teams until we eventually get to a position where we have to have a lesser league, a relegation league?
That'd be nuts.
I'd love to see a relegation battle.
Yeah, but that's a lot of extra teams, isn't it? That's a lot of extra teams we're asking for.
How many do you think?
Or do you think? Yeah.
You'd need at least. It'd have to be even. It'd have to be 18 and 18 teams. Because you can't have like 18 teams or whatever it is, 19 teams, and then a league with only 6 or 7 teams, unless you have the second tier is. Isn't the A League doing a relegation soon, Tom? Or if anyone knows?
Yeah, they've added it in. I mean, to be honest, though, like the tier system, you kind of see it. They've banded that around in the AFLW, haven't they? Like the tier system to try and make it easy. My issue is how much are we going to change the game? Like how much are we going to change the game? Like let's just say if you had. I think 19 teams is ridiculous. Like the fact that the AFL has even gone with that, it's even more lopsided. We're complaining about the draw as it is.
Yeah.
Like that's going to make it even more complex because even though you imagine you've got a system to make the fixture list, we know there isn't actually a system. The system is built around the teams they want to play finals for sustainability. Like this year, it's obvious they want Carlton in finals and Gold Coast. The way the fixture list is there, you can see that the powers that be have gone, this will be good, won't it? Because then it makes us look like Gold Coast is a success. And when the Blues are up and about, we make a boatload of money. So it's going to be 20, hasn't it? But then it's going to be bizarre, I think. Like, I genuinely think it's going to be bizarre because you're going to have 19 individual fixtures. That makes it quite tough to get a 24-game season. It's interesting, isn't it? Because I feel like it's such a hard yakka and the players want to play less. The AFL obviously want to play more. It's a fascinating one, isn't it? Like, because I think if you have the split tiers, there's already clubs struggling. St Kilda struggle to pack a venue. North Melbourne struggle to pack a venue. If they were only playing games, let's say, against the 9 worst clubs in the league, with nothing to play for other than you'll get to play in the top 9 and then you'll get battered, presumably. Like, that could be, no offence to Jake, I'm not saying this to Potshine, but that could be the death of North Melbourne St Kilda if they stayed in the bottom half too long, never playing the big teams.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. But I just think that the 19 teams just won't work. There has to be, they either go back down to 18 or they move up to 20.
It'll be just they'll stop at 20, won't they?
They'll have to stop at 20.
It has to come a point where it just you can't
keep going. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think 20 is fine because it's 19 games. We play each other once, and then you give people 4 token games, their rivalry games. But there is going to come a point, in an ideal world, we would play a 38 round system with 20 teams.
Oh,
but it'll just never happen.
Yeah, in an ideal world, we're playing each other home and away. That's the only way this competition will ever be fair. But it will never happen.
And it won't ever happen.
Yeah.
But you know the AFL, like, I know my football club. Let's just say all the teams said, right, let's have a 2-tier system. I bet your ass to a barn dance, Carlton are like, we want to be ineligible for relegation. Because we saw this when the Super League was created, which is the rugby in the UK. They separated and created a super comp of the best teams. That's what the big clubs started doing, the Leeds and the Wigan, saying, we'll do this, but we never want to be eligible for relegation. The other teams can to play the chance of us, but we don't. You could see Carlton straight away going, nah, spit our dummies out. We never get relegated. We're guaranteed to be at the top table. We're a big club. Collingwood would probably do it. Essendon, we've won 16 flags. We should be at the top table. And I reckon you would actually see even more lopsidedness. Because I already think the league is very heavily weighted to 3 or 4 teams in decision making. I think it would be even worse if you did that.
Yeah, that's fair. Do you think? I mean, it's too late now, but I can't help but think. I don't know what the conversations were back in the day when they decided to move away from continuing to invest in the stadiums at Vic Park. Imagine they just continue to invest in the stadiums and all of them had capacity for 60, 70, 80K, and we had the Premier League, but in the AFL.
Oh, that's what it should be. The MCG could only be used for like what Wembley is sort of used for. Like the big, Carlton, Collingwood. Saints want to play their 200th year anniversary against a huge club, and their 60,000 boutique stadium can't hold it. Play it at the MCG. There's always going to be a game at least at the MCG that will call for it. But oh my God, 70,000 at Vic Park, or even 60, and only play Fremantle, Gold Coast, whoever it is, just play them there. Oh my God, oh my days.
Yeah.
It will never happen. It will never happen.
No, yeah. We say all these good things, and then at the end, it's like,
no, it wouldn't.
It's never happening.
How do you think that would happen, though? Like, let's just say, is it feasible? Is it possible to, what's the stadium capacity at Vic Park at the moment? What, 20,000, 30?
Nah, because Vic Park only has stands on a third of their
10, 15
thing.
max.
Yeah,
10, 15.
And that's with people standing around at the moment. Yeah,
we'd get 8 at RCA probably.
So you're probably looking at what, because the way that the Melbourne government work, you'd have to have facilities for parking. So you're probably talking about 100 million, aren't you?
Yeah, as in it's too late.
Because I agree with you. I'd love it if MCG was only used for the final. It became like Wembley.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? It was literally for the biggest of the games. Maybe the Anzac round as well. Do you know what I mean? Maybe maybe the Indigenous round as well, like the big Showtime games. You get that fixture. It's a shame we don't have it, because I agree. I think that's a niche for a POM. I find that incredibly weird that you all share the stadiums. Makes no sense to me.
It doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make sense that Carlton isn't your home ground at Marvel.
No,
isn't that your?
I mean,
It was?
No, so we have a split. I actually learnt this about the Saints as well. The Saints played 2 games at the G this year or last year. Is that right, Jake? 2 games
Yeah,
every
we
year?
played the Pies and Melbourne there last year.
And
Yep.
this
And
year,
then
how many games?
the year before we played 1. We played our 150th anniversary, maybe one more if I'm forgetting it, and then the final against the Giants. So I can't remember the last time we played. I mean, the last time we played more than 3 games at the G is when we made, prelims. That was the only we got. I think in 2009 we played the Granny there. We played all the finals there. We didn't play them at our home ground, which was fine. And then during the season, we might have played 1 game at the G. Yeah.
Wow.
It's crazy. I think we're pushing for 4. Like, we're not even going for a lot. We're going for, 4. So this year, I think we're getting 2.
Yeah,
maybe.
we've got six home games at the G, 5 away games, 5 home games at Marvel, and then there's other games that we play mostly at the G away.
We're playing the Blues at the G next week, and that's our home game, which we've negotiated. But then we play Collingwood at Marvel, and it's Collingwood's home game.
Oh my God! Don't talk to me about home games at Marvel. That's just crazy.
Like, why wouldn't that just be at the G? Like, if it's Collingwood's home game, we want to play more games at the G. Feels like it's kind of beneficial for both parties, but it's going to be at Marvel.
We need to play at least 2 games at Marvel. That's the thing that we have with the AFL.
Yeah, so they've looked at us and gone, well, Marvel tenant, put them there.
Well, it shouldn't be. It should really. This is one of my big gripes. It shouldn't be. We shouldn't be playing a home game at Marvel against the Marvel tenant. That's just like going to Geelong and saying we'll play a home game in Geelong against Geelong. Like, what's that? We should be playing West Coast there or Gold Coast because it's only going to get 25,000, 30,000.
Yeah, and it'll feel full.
Anyway.
Yeah. But the AFL doesn't work in those ways.
Because the other one I'd like to see as well is only a 65% split, isn't it, ticketing? So if you're the home team, from memory, it's 65%. Is the home team, the rest is the others?
In every game?
I don't
in
actually
every
know.
stadium?
I'm pretty sure that's the split. That
not
was
in
agreed.
Geelong, it's not. Not in Geelong. Geelong makes
because
way
I'm
more.
I'm a firm believer that it should be 80-20. So if I'm the home team, I get 80% of the tickets to sell. The opposition get 20. Too bad, too sad. Because the one thing I notice when you go to AFL games is it's hard to tell if you're a home or away fan. I know people say it's loud, but it's not. Do you know what I mean? Like, it genuinely isn't. You always can hear the opposition fans, even if they're a small percentage there. I would love to see, like, the AFL say, right, St Kilda versus Carlton, it's their home game. They get 80% of the tickets are sold by Saints. Carlton only get 20 once their allocation's filled up. Too bad, too sad. Like, because you'll go to that game and no offence to St Kilda, Carlton fans will dwarf St Kilda's. Do you know what I mean? From the noise perspective. But in reality, Saints should outnumber Blues 8-2. Do you know what I mean? 4-1.
Yeah, it should feel like a real home ground advantage.
Yeah. Even on the weekend, Brisbane fans, they turned out. Like, when they were kicking goals, it was pretty loud in Marvel. I mean, we were pretty quiet because of the game, but even at the start, they were up and about. Which you would
mate,
be,
the old Fitzroyans, mate, they turn up.
Yeah,
so
they turn up. Good on them.
So does South Melbourne.
Yeah, South Melbourne. Yep, absolutely.
Yeah.
Credit to them. But yeah,
Very
home
good.
ground advantages don't exist in the AFL.
No.
Not for everyone, anyway.
All right.
I agree with Sez as well. Like, that was brilliant. Because someone mentioned that on this show. Like, the away team shouldn't be introduced with their song. The away team shouldn't have a banner.
I said that a few weeks back. They shouldn't have a banner. Their song shouldn't be played.
It should be a hostile environment.
They don't need an announcement.
Yeah, and you know what as well? If I was in charge of the AFL, I would ban anyone who complains about booing. Because that is my biggest bugbear in the AFL. someone gets booed and everyone's on social media going, oh, it's so unfair. Like I saw Carlton fans going, Harry Mackay was being booed. And I'm like, well, you were booing Bailey Smith.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
if a boo upsets you, Jesus,
Yeah.
you shouldn't be playing elite level sport, because that's the best thing in the UK. When the hometown stadium announcement will do the number one, Jack Silver, everyone goes mental, and then they'll do it. They'll go number one, Reece Stanley, and then you'll just hear a big boo.
Yeah.
It's like they literally deliberately do it to make it harsh, and like, you know, even the announcer has no enthusiasm when he mentions the others. And if there is someone who is a bit of a dickhead, they build it up. They'll be like, your favourite player, Bailey Smith, and then the crowd will erupt. Do you know what I mean? Like you kind of need that animosity. But then again, like, we are talking about the AFL, where if a player gets booed, we look for another reason, as opposed to maybe it's just he's a good player and we're trying to put him off. Because have you ever noticed a sport like AFL? Like, a player gets booed and straight away they're like, oh, it's because them fans are racist, or it's because them fans don't agree in his politics. And it's like, no, the guy's actually fucking good at football, so you just try and put him off by booing him. Like,
Exactly.
I boo any player who genuinely is pretty good or is a bit of a tit. I don't look at it intuitively. I just boo him.
Yeah. All right. Let's move along. Let's go to our final question, topic, game show. Pommy, take the floor,
whatever
mate.
it is.
Ah, dear. All the pressure of always going.
I'm not naked again, am I, on screen? Because
No,
my other side hustle is OnlyFans. So if they got to fucking charge, you got to charge for that if they want to see that stuff again. Last week was a freebie.
Mate, drop your link. Let's go. Well,
Yeah.
to a new game show. Whose hairline is it anyway? We
That's why
are
he got
going to
the
play a
haircut.
game, and these guys are in competition. What we're going to do, chat, you're going to help them out as well. We need input from the studio, but we will go team to team, right? And the first cab off the rank is... Right, so this is Swoop Luke's one, right? So if Swoop Luke gets it from the silhouette, he will get 10 points. That's the maximum points you are allocated in this game. It's 10 points. I will open it up to the floor for a steal from Jake or Terry,
Okay.
right?
Yeah.
And they will get double the points. If Swoop can't get it this first guess, he will then get a clue. He will get up to 5 clues until he bottoms out at 1 point. And again, the team can steal. So
And
these
this
are
can
the
be
rules.
anyone, right? Not just this person's not just from Collingwood.
So I've done it all for your teams because you know what? I'm a nice guy. So these are all your teams. All I can tell you is these are players that will have played for your team after the turn of the century. So they're 2000 onwards. They're not
How do I
players from...
God.
Oh, shit.
How do I
Jesus
steal? What do I have to do?
Christ.
So this is a Collingwood player, right? And he will have played for you from 2000 onwards.
Jesus
hello?
Christ. You're really testing me.
How do I steal if I want to guess? What do I do?
You've just got to go, Pom, I'd like to guess.
Pom, I'd like to guess.
Okay.
No fucking way.
It's Trelaw.
Now Terry is out for the remainder of the Collingwood one. So only Jake can steal. Do you give up? Do you want a clue? Jake, do you want to guess?
Well, I definitely need a clue.
Are you going to try and steal, Jake?
Go the clue.
I was drafted pick 45 to Collingwood.
Oh, I should have waited.
And if I make a guess,
You have
out
unlimited
of-
guesses because it's Collingwood. Only the steals get one guess.
can the audience help me out?
Mate, that's why we have an audience. Use them.
All right, perfect. It can't be Dane Swan because he wasn't 45. Ooh, Heath Scotland is a good guess. Let's lock in Heath Scotland from L-S.
It's unfortunately not Heath Scotland. Jake, would you like to have a punt?
I don't know why it's jumping. Alan Tuvey.
No, Jake is out. You want another clue, Jake? I mean, Luke?
Yeah, because what I'm sort of seeing is the way that he's positioned. That looks like it's a different. Okay, Harry Collier is a first year player.
Right, so he played 100 games for you, and he won a Harry Collier trophy.
All right, let's lock in. I don't think Fasolo won the Harry Collier trophy, guys. Ooh. Fuck, this is testing my knowledge. I look like a fuck. All right, Fasolo. We're going to lock in Fasolo. Teresa said it 4 times.
It's Fasolo.
4 points. Swoop, Luke. It is the great man, Alex.
No, what is that?
Do you know what I mean? Like, these were your clues. Go. Do you know what I mean? You would have eventually got it. You would have eventually got it.
Oh, yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Teresa, I owe you. Let me beam you a beer, because that's a good one.
Do you know what I mean? So 4 points for Swoop. So now this player is a St. Kilda player. Jake.
I want to steal.
Yeah, I've got it. I've got it.
I want to steal.
I got it.
Okay, we'll go with Jake first. He did get in there first.
Oh, this could be it. It could. I was freaking out there with the clapping. I thought someone was trying to break in. Spider Everett.
Ding, 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 ding. Hey, well done, Jake. My wife's favourite player of all time, Spider Everett. Well done. You would have, like, these were the clues you would have got. We went really, really deep, and then we ran out of ideas for a clue, and it was shares his name with an 8-legged critter. So Jake currently in the lead on 10 points, right?
That's Brendan Favola.
Here we are. Terry, a Carlton player.
It doesn't even look like a human, to be honest, with that angle.
That's Brendan Favola.
Terry ties the lead with 10 points. Swoop on 4. Now, don't
I had the hardest one.
Well, you want the hardest one.
My one was, everyone's got hair that they can fucking notice.
Mate, Favola was probably the sexiest man to ever play football. I would have got that straight away. Right, here we are, right? Here we are. This is the last one. This is the last one. It's a free-for-all, this one. Right? This is the separator. Double points on this one. Terry.
Chris Main.
No.
Oh, that was a good game.
Anyone else want to have a stab? Because you're in this forever in the final round.
Hang on. What's his fucking name? What's his name?
Is this from any club or is this from one of our clubs?
This is from any club played for 2000. You will start getting clues.
Damn it. I need to be patient.
Who's that? God, who's that fucking Carlton player?
I know who it is. Oh.
Who's that? Luke, but I need help. Actually, let me ask no one answer. Let me ask. That's my Carlton player. Bootsma. Luke, my answer is Bootsma. That's all I was thinking of.
No.
Fuck! Okay. That's all I was thinking of.
I will say this. He's been said in chat 3 times.
Yeah.
I don't want to look. I'm not looking at chat.
It's so obvious. I can't believe I waited. I was so impatient.
He's the fucking best player of all time. Right, so come on. Jake, do you want to have a guess or do you want to go to the first clue?
Nat 5?
Oh, no. What are you doing? Oh my God.
I don't know.
First clue. He was pick 31 in the draft. I'll open it up to the first person. Oh, Terry.
It's Matt Prittis.
Terry, you had your hand up first. Well done. You get the double points, 10. So the winner of tonight's show, Terry with 20, Jake with 10. I might have stiffed my mate Luke, but this was Matthew Prittis. Can I just give a huge shout out to Spitz RH, who got this within 2.3 seconds of it being up there. But
God, well done.
That's crazy.
I thought
Can I
it
just
was
say
from,
there, yeah, look, Matthew Pridis, that concludes our game show. Whose hair is it anyway?
Whose hair is it anyway? Is such a good game show name.
Mate, thank you very much. Hey, look, this is all I do. My life now is literally this.
This is your side hustle, making game shows.
It's worth it.
Yeah,
It's worth it.
Mrs. Pom's like, have you got anything useful to do when I'm sat here thinking of a witty name?
Soon as you said it's I'm just impatient. I thought it was going to be someone who was from one of our clubs, but I knew it was Matt Pridis. Anyway, whatever.
Well, you see, that's why I did it. I just thought, look, Matt Pridis was my boy, one of my favourites. The home of the biggest money I've ever made in a gamble was Matt Pridis winning the Brownlow.
Oh.
So he was my. I thought Pridis was good. I was going to do Travis Varco for you, but Luke.
Yeah. That would have been harder, right? Because he's bald, pretty much.
Well, I mean, there's not many bold players who played for Collingwood, is there?
Yeah, true. But I had unlimited guesses. Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
It took time. Do you know what I mean? I just drove around in my white van and just like grabbed them and was like, "Get down there!" So yeah, that's probably a thing. But no, it was good fun.
That was good fun.
It was in honour of Terry, who was obsessed with hair. So surprise, Terry won a hair-based game.
Guys, Luke and Jake, I want to give you a bit of some context as to what Pommy's saying here. So, do you ever link your players that you watch? Like, you just know when their hair's on point and it matches their character, their game style. They're like you, and you know, like Dacos, when his hair is freshly done, you know he's having a good game. You just know.
Yep.
Mm.
And you can notice it, right? Like, I think the thing with Collingwood supporters is Brody Myercheck. He always has a shag on top of his head. So when he gets a haircut, he looks like you're like, okay, he's gonna lock in. He's gonna lock in. You just know. Yeah. No, I feel that. I
can't believe this is becoming a thing.
So, chat, take the piss out of me. I'm telling you, it's real. I promise you, it's real. Now, Nick Haynes comes to Carlton, and he just needed some time to settle in. And one thing changed this week. He's cut his hair, but it's like the perfect length. So it was still pretty long when he got to the club, but it was like GWS Nick Haynes, and then sort of had the man bun going on last week. It just wasn't. It didn't all sit together.
He wasn't a Carlton player. Yeah.
Yeah. Now he's found his Carlton look, and he,
I love it. I actually love it. Yeah, that's pretty good. That's I believe that.
Yeah, look good, feel good,
I'm all
play
for
good.
it. Smell good as well, as Isaac Quaynor says. Smell good.
He does look like he smells terrific. Isaac
Q.
Yeah,
he does. I've smelled.
Players.
I've walked past him. I smelled him. Very good.
You know, there's certain human beings you look at and you're like, I just want to take a big whiff of your neck. I bet you smell spectacular. IQ looks like one of them guys that I just want to sniff his neck.
Yeah, 100%.
And that's me probably restraining order if I ever go to train.
That'll do it. Let's lock in some teams. Let's do some locks of the week.
Mm-hmm.
Who have we got? Okay.
Wait, who did we have last week? I actually forgot. Wait. Oh no, Collingwood. I did Collingwood. I'm pretty sure.
You did. You did lock in us. You did lock in us. No, that was the week before. That was the week before you locked in Collingwood. When I wasn't here, you locked in Collingwood.
Chat.
Because you said.
Wait.
I locked in Richmond against Melbourne. Yeah, we locked in Richmond against Melbourne.
Oh, yeah. Richmond was the one, I think.
We're idiots.
I locked in Melbourne, I'm pretty sure.
Yes, because you went to... Yeah.
But it's okay. It's because I didn't do my hair, so I didn't look good. I didn't feel good, so I tipped bad.
You didn't tip good. Yeah.
Can I start with lock of the week?
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's
go
St.
for it.
Kilda. I'm going. My Saints are back. Guaranteed. They will beat Fremantle.
Against Fremantle.
They will beat them at Marvel. I'm not even doing the Moz thing. Like, they will beat Fremantle for sure.
Appreciate that. Thank you.
Yeah.
Fraud mantle as well. So they're another fraud
You reckon?
team.
You reckon they're on the fraud? They're on fraud watch.
Well, look, told you about GWS, didn't I? And you all laughed. And look at
Yeah,
them
we
now.
need to give you some. We need to give. I think we need a bit of a shout out to you. You were the first person in the world in 2025 to call GWS fraudulent.
And for those who were pomming Aussies, I called them frauds after they beat Collingwood.
Interesting.
See, I
called
was
them
on fraud
frauds at
train
round
before it
one.
even became a thing. And you know what? Now there's big Twitter follow people who are creating their own fraud watch after Pom already did it. I completed fraud watch on my own. Population 1.
My luck is going to be the same. This in the same vein as last week. It's going to be North over the Bombers at Marvel on Thursday night. I just
North over the Bombers.
hey, great minds think alike. I just think that with everything that's sort of going on with North, and look, we dismantled Essendon, but with everything that's sort of going on with North, with all of that talk, and they nearly beat Port Adelaide. Again, I still don't think Port Adelaide are a good team, but they nearly beat Port Adelaide. I think they're just going to get over the line against Essendon, and then it's just going to take the heat off them a little bit, especially with what Kane Corns was saying about Cheezel, which I thought was
stupid.
a bit
Oh,
harsh.
yeah.
Not even a bit harsh, just a lot harsh. Kid is a 50 gamer.
Ken Collins
Like,
is my
far
favourite,
out.
do you know what I mean? Like a guy who
Far
I don't
out.
think there's ever been as bad a debut year as Kane Collins. And he's having the audacity to slate young players when he was bobbins himself. Quality. Admire a man that has that double standard. Admire it. I've got my lock of the week. Another fraud watch.
What do you got?
Gold Coast Frauds.
Ooh.
Their first test, they've played teams that I don't even question if they're real football teams. Brisbane Lions beat them, right, by 40 plus.
Yeah,
The Q Clash.
Totally down with that. Yeah, I can see that.
They come crashing back down to earth. Gold Coast Frauds, stay on it.
I'm gonna go Dogs.
Yeah.
5+ goals over the power.
Who are they playing?
The
Oh,
Dogs are playing Port.
Port.
I think at Mars. It's at Mars Stadium. I didn't think that Ballarat. I might change things.
Yeah, they'll get even more battered.
I think they'll win. Yeah, 30+ to the Dogs.
Because you can't park your car without staying with it at Ballarat. So, yeah, I mean, someone's getting robbed, and it's probably going to be Port.
It's a good round. Eagles over Melbourne's interesting.
Yeah, Teresa's, that's a great call by Richmond beating Hawks. You know what? I'm covering that game, and I would not be shocked that Richmond give them a little bum twitch at the start of the game.
And
Yeah, but
look,
that's
as much
not
as
winning. That's just testing them.
Yeah, but I said the same about Gold Coast in that thing. Sometimes all you've got to do is ask the question, and teams fold.
you reckon fraud? You reckon fraud, Thorn? Pom?
No, I think Hawthorn are too
Nah.
good to be called fraud Thorn. but Gold Coast and GWS, massive frauds, honestly. Like, they are so fraudulent. I actually want to call Vic Paul when they come over here.
I still think Crows have got to be in that bucket though. If you got the Suns in there, I think the Crows have got to be in that fraud bucket.
Oh, don't say that because they're salivating now.
Are we going to be saying the Cats are frauds after the Pies hammer them on the weekend?
Collingwood by
Nah.
so much.
They might be out of
You
the 8.
reckon?
They might be.
You
the Cats
reckon?
No,
the Cats might
maybe
be out
not
of the
by
8.
so much.
I think if we win, it'll be by less than 20 points.
If the Cats lose and Port Freo win, the Cats are well out of the 8 at that point.
Oh, no. Nah.
Are we going forward watch then?
I'm with Luke here. I've got too much respect for Adelaide Crows and what they're building to call them frauds, especially the week they play us. I've played this game for too long. If I came out here and said fraud Adelaide, it's going to be
I
clipped
didn't
when we lose
I didn't
by
actually.
40.
I didn't consider the game. Yeah, I forgot that you were playing them.
So Geelong Cats, they're the real deal. Pies beat them, fair play to them. Adelaide, proper real deal as well. Two very respectful clubs. That will give it. However, I do hope Collingwood win against Geelong because that Catman guy, what the fuck is his crack?
Can I?
You're going to get him on swooping around after the game.
Oh, please.
Oh my God. I'm going to try and fucking find him. Actually, you know what I'll do? I'm going to try and, he'd be living in Geelong, wouldn't he? Yeah. I was going to say, try and sit down with him for a one-on-one, but I'll message him. I'll see what happens. Get him down for a chat.
For a one-on-one, for a banter, can you just take like a spray bottle of water and just spray him?
No, I'll see. But I will try and get him swooping around.
And the red laser as well, just on the walls.
Can I just say, I rate the commitment. Like the
commitment is incredible. Absolutely incredible.
There's all in, and he's in a league. So he's fully ingrained into what he does.
There's literally no one else like him in the.
No, there's no Crow Man. There's no human magpie walking around.
Oh, Crow Man would be incredible.
Crow Man.
Yeah,
Magpie Man.
It's almost like people have self-respect, isn't it? You know what I mean?
Oh, it's not that.
Hustler, leave him.
No. Each their own. Whatever tickles your pickle, I'll never judge it. But do you know what I mean? When you start making yourself bigger than the club that you supposedly love, I have issues with that.
What's the coolest mascot that a human could become? Is it the Lion Man? Would that be the
I think it'd be. I reckon. Poor Adelaide, just lightning. Imagine
the lightning bolt, just a lightning bolt.
Yeah.
Just being electricity, like Electro, like from the.
Yeah. That'd be absolutely cool.
Jamie Foxx, yeah,
that'd be sick.
What's the? Does anyone understand it?
The demon. The demon.
Oh, the demon will be.
The demon. A demon would be cool. Something like that.
Yeah. The demon would be sick.
A saint.
I think. No.
Can I just ask a stupid question? Right? Is that just his like get up for like when he plays, when the games play, like
when they play?
Like,
yeah.
Like if I was an Uber Eats driver now and I went round to Seaman at 123 Litter Tray Way, would I knock on the door and would he still be dressed as a cat?
No.
Can you confirm that, or is that just a?
I think on his Insta he's done videos out of costume, so I think that would just be a game day thing.
Like what? Scratching his back on a tree, or?
I don't know.
Let's move along. I want to ask
a golf ball.
Moving on.
I want to touch on the news that's come out today. So Paul Curtis upheld and Alex Taru held.
Was that upheld? I just found.
Yeah. 4 weeks.
I want to touch on the Paul Curtis one, and also the reason why I don't think North Melbourne will win. Luke Parker comes out and says, come and watch us play touch football on Thursday night. North are going to fall into the victim trap this Thursday and they're going to lose. So that's how I think that'll play out.
Oh, interesting. Okay. Yep.
Is that what Luke Parker said?
He tweeted
it.
He shared a post on his Instagram story and said, come and watch us play touch football on Thursday. Like, absolute joke, yada, yada, yada.
And I think Harry Shazel came out and said something as well.
I've got a question about that though. Did you notice that the AFL they do that thing where they post on the Sunday night what a round of football, and they do that like 1 minute compilation?
Mm-hmm.
The big highlight of the week was the Reed tackle on Watson, which is identical frame by frame to Curtis's.
Just no concussion.
But it's just the outcome's different.
Yeah. But to me, like, once you start becoming outcome based, that's like saying that Rory Lobb can punch Mason Cox because Mason Cox didn't get concussed, but if he'd been
100%,
you put in a grey
that's exactly
area.
What they're saying. No,
yeah.
that's what they're saying.
But to me, that's such a bad look. Like, I can't express how incompetent. I thought the old guy was bad. The new guy is taking the piss on how bad the AFL is run in this type of avenue. Like, it's actually crazy.
Mm-hmm. I can't believe Yeah, I still can't believe the Tyroo one got 4. I'm sorry, but I think that's nuts that he gets 4 for that. I feel like you see that 10 times a game.
That
again,
was just unlucky that the guy got concussed. Otherwise, that's not a suspension.
Like I wish someone when they did the. Yeah, I think. Can you put that up? Is that possible?
Let me share it. Let me get the Curtis one up, and then let me find the Reed one.
I can't remember who it was while Terry looks for that, but we talked about the punch. You remember the punch a couple of years ago, Terry, where they argued that he hit him without looking, so he didn't mean it?
Yeah.
Well,
and we had that argument.
So good tackle there at that point.
Pin the arms, which
that's fine.
Look, that's been suspended before from. I'm pretty sure.
But then how do you get holding the ball?
And it's that.
Yeah, but Terry, then you watch Harley Reid and the AFL's big thing is size.
It's because he's pushed into his back.
Yeah, but that's momentum, isn't it?
But what's that's right. So he's supposed to turn him before he lands.
That's what they're saying. They wanted him to turn. Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, but you watch Harley Reid. It's worse because Harley Reid's doing it to a guy who's half his size as well.
Well, what's the?
Right, so let me
I'd love to see that Paul Curtis one side by side with Jack Steele, who got tackled and pushed in the back and got the free kick but wasn't concussed. I feel like there wouldn't have been much difference because I feel like his arms were pinned as well. He just didn't hit his head in the turf.
Let me find it.
So I think the AFL needs to come out and say that they're suspending for outcomes, not for actions. Because that tackle happens
tribunal hearing.
5 times a game. Someone said,
someone at the tribunal hearing could just say, "Look, we're here tonight because of the concussion. Let's just put it out there." Not have 20 minutes of deliberation where it's like, "Well, it was low impact. We believe this." Just the lawyer come out and just say, "We're here because this guy's concussed." Let's face it, you know. Let's see this one.
So already,
he's turned him already a little bit.
Already, Nick Watson's more to the side on his left shoulder.
Yeah. He's trying to.
Already, it's different. I'm sorry, it's different. That's completely different.
Yeah, and Harley's got his arm. Is that Harley's arm?
Yeah, he's already to his back.
I think it's different.
Yeah, but he's taking him from side on.
That's why it's legal. That's the whole point, I think.
But this is the same argument we have all the time. If Paul Curtis let him run away, we would be having an argument that Paul Curtis shouldn't play football ever again because he's not chased his man.
Yeah. And if you don't pin the arms, then they get the hands away and
do you know what I mean?
You know, you can see the score.
Kane Corns would be saying right now, if North Melbourne give him a 7-year deal, Paul Curtis, with that type of defending, he needs banning.
Would the only possible sort of way to avoid what happened to Paul Curtis is just to try and? But how can you just? I was just going to say try and pin one arm, but how are you going to do that? So that's so imprecise.
What did he get? 3?
Got 3. He fell to his back. I think that's what hurt him.
Yeah.
Have you got the Taru one there? Because that was 4, so that's worse than.
This is wild.
I'm stunned by this. I can't. Maybe 1. I can't believe 4.
Is it Tauru?
Tauru. Yeah. Alex Lix.
What's weird is Michael Christiansen played the game, so he'll understand. Like just from playing a lot of rugby, when they got rid of the dump tackle and the spear, it's incredibly hard to move someone at pace into a safe position when you're trying to stop 100%. Them moving.
Yeah.
Okay.
And you could probably hurt yourself.
This is, in my opinion, the worst of the lot. So,
let's just go. So
Alex
there is there.
Is that him here?
Yeah, that's him there.
Okay, so let's just.
So ball's there.
Let me mute that. Ball spills.
The line's coming in. Runs past 24, gets it, drops it.
So Toru is this guy?
Right there. Yeah.
Okay.
The lion continues momentum right towards him. Protects himself.
Shirt fronts him.
And that's it.
Real time.
Life ban.
4 weeks.
That's 4 weeks? He was going to debut on Friday night. That's 4 weeks?
Mm.
I think in the tribunal hearing, he did say he was poised to debut, so he kind of knew this is going to cost him.
Is it because the ball's gone away? I haven't seen the ruling, so I don't know.
That's what people. The only people that tell me I'm stuffed is that he ran past the ball, but the ball bounces, goes left, and in that moment the line runs at him. So if he doesn't do that, do they both clash heads? Probably. And he doesn't have the ball, so you can't tackle him.
So he's not making a play on the ball, which is probably
he's pushed him.
Yeah,
that's what it looks like. It looks like a push, but I think he just playing devil's advocate. Well, not playing devil's advocate. It's just that shoulder going onto his chin is what knocks him out. But otherwise, that's a push.
If you press the button to make it 0.25 speed, I reckon where they get him is he lowers his body and goes upwards. I reckon that's what they're looking at, that action, because they hate that action, which is a reaction.
So do it again.
Watching it.
It's that. Yeah, he's come there.
He's gone like that.
And he's gone up.
But isn't that almost prepping for contact? Like you're lowering your body, you're tightening up. I mean, if he stands upright, he's going to invite all this pressure here and cop it. Like he's standing. Like to me, it's like either one of them gets hurt in this situation or both of them do. And this was the best case in a worst case scenario. You know, if he doesn't protect himself, they're both going to hit head on. Yeah.
I agree with you. I don't want to be that guy.
That's not 4 is what I'm saying. I'm not.
Nonsense.
Yeah, I'm not saying he should have got off, but I think 4.
4's excessive.
I think that's outrageous. Yeah. I think that is so excessive.
You know what scares me, and this sounds horrible, but I would love some sporting organisation to come out, right? Some sporting organisation to come out and say, you know the risks when you play this game.
And,
it's not a secret. We don't come out here and say you will have your full faculties if you play the game as hard as you can. There's a risk, and but you are heavily remunerated to play this game. You are being paid more than doctors, more than lawyers, more than nurses, real heroes to play this game. I do feel like we are really going to a situation now where we're almost making it more dangerous, because like the chase down tackle with Paul Curtis, I appreciate what Terry's saying, it looks bad, but in the heat of the minute you're trying to stop the player, and you can guarantee the way Paul Curtis is doing that, there was no intention to hurt him. The intention was to stop him and win the ball. And it's the same with Harley Reid being tackled. I'm sure Watson wasn't thinking about killing him, he was thinking about stopping him. And I think Tyroo, if you actually went into his mind, he was like, I'm not letting you past. I'm holding my line. You don't come past me.
He came at him. He's holding his position. And also it was play on. Like, they don't call the free kick.
For me, 4 weeks should be Rory Lobb. When he punched Mason Cox, there's zero reason to do that. Like, zero reason. And I know his excuse was, I was trying to spoil the ball and I missed. That needs punishing, because that's just stupid. Like, if you're aiming that hard, you need a week or two. But I agree with some of the ex-footballers. I think Corey McKernan nailed it, where he said, we are getting to the stage now where if the player runs away from you, you can't tackle them. And then we're going to have a conversation about calling players soft, calling players not committed, and stuff like that. But then you'll have, and I always say this, I bore Terry to tears with this, when the Super League removed certain tackles in the air, what happened is players just believed that if they were off the ground, they weren't going to hit. So they didn't even prepare for the hit. And then we started getting serious concussion issues. We had people with whiplash who just believed, I'm not going to get touched because these are the new rules. And that's probably going to happen. You're going to get some young kid in the next couple of years who's running away from a pack going, I won't get tackled. And someone then does a dickhead thing and goes, you know what, fuck it, I'll take the 2-week suspension. And that's when you'll hurt someone, when they're not prepared for it. Like, for me, I know this sounds harsh, but I don't know how I'll word this without sounding like a dickhead, but if you get concussed in an illegal tackle, don't play AFL. Like, it's going to happen. It'd be like a boxer saying, I didn't plan on getting knocked out. That you know what's going to happen before you signed up to it. So if you are genuinely worried, mate, deal with it. Like, it does do my head in, because you're then lowering the standard. And AFL is the only sport in the world that I can king hit someone and get 4 weeks. do a legal tackle and get longer or the same.
Yeah.
No, that's not true.
Honestly, this sport, like when they explained the Hewitt and Chera, the difference between a fine and a week suspension, she worded it exactly the same, slightly different. Like, I don't understand how you can get these positions and not actually have clear guidelines yet. Like, I'd love the AFL to come out. What do you do apart from drink coffees? Because we've had these issues for 4 years. It could be simple, isn't it? Have a simple, clear rule book, a clear guideline. Stop making it up on the fly. It's a real professional sport. Start behaving like a professional sport.
Okay, so there's two things. One, I don't know if you can ever truly make clear black and white rules for such a grey sport.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Last week, aren't we being a little bit hypocritical when we were all in favor of a card system if you knock out a player? So, like, you get punished even if you didn't mean it. Connor Nash might have made a mistake. Roundhouse swing action. He might have just mistimed it. I don't think he tried to knock out Brian Myers, but the reality was the consequence of his action was that Brian Myers was out for the game. And so we were all talking about, a red card or a yellow card or a sin bin. But when someone gets knocked out due to the action of someone, and I would say all three of those were not intended to knock out someone. I don't think Corey tried to knock out a guy. I don't think Curtis tried to knock out Sin. And I don't think Watson tried to knock out Harley Reid. It's not about the intention. There are consequences for actions. And sometimes it's stiff because you don't mean to do it. But at the end of the day, these guys are missing 12 days or 2 weeks. So we wanted a card system last week, but we don't want the person to be punished for knocking out someone at the tribunal on a Tuesday night. I just think, what's the balance here?
No, but I mean, full caveat. I was against discipline in that avenue. If we play the tape back, it's too complicated. But I will say this: if you play soccer with a card system, me and Swoop go up for a header. We both compete. We're fairly touching each other. He lands and knocks himself out. I don't get a yellow card for it. The referee won't yellow card me for it. He'll get stretchered off. I'll tap him on the bum and go, "Sorry, mate, hope you're okay." And the game goes on as normal, and no one will cite me. They'll be like, "I was just really unlucky that happened." Because that tackle that Paul Curtis did, there's about 18 tackles a game and you don't get knocked out. But that's sad, Terry. But like, if we're going to this degree, like, what are we going to do? I could drive the car tomorrow and get hit by someone on the T section. Are we going to ban T sections?
No, I don't know. I don't think I don't think we see Curtis's tackle like that much anymore, like we used to, where he's driven him in the back and he's like, it's just
unlucky.
Okay, well, Cripps didn't have to go upwards. When you watch Cripps's tackle against Max Holmes, he didn't have to drive his body upwards. He could have just gone straight through him.
Yeah, but he didn't go body through body. He had him with his arm and threw him.
Yeah, and Cripps luckily controlled him to the ground. What happens if he dropped him by accident?
He would have been suspended.
Yeah, but that's what I mean. That's a grey area. Like you are asking someone to be near faultless.
Yeah, it is a grey area because it's a grey sport and there are grey moments.
Yeah, but in my opinion,
it's perfect. It's not perfect. It's never going to be perfect.
Yeah,
that's exactly what I was just about to say. Yeah,
if you're going to suspend someone,
based. It can't be outcome based.
No.
Why not?
Because in your world where we are now, in the real world where we are now, it's outcome based. So you're telling me Nick Watson can play this weekend because Harley Reid didn't die?
No.
Right? No, but he didn't get knocked out. But if Harley Reid got knocked out,
no. That's not what I said.
No, I'm saying in the world we live in now, that's where the rules are, isn't it? If Harley Reid didn't play the rest of that game, he was concussed. He would literally be cited for that.
He would have been at least reported, yes.
For your actions, there are consequences for knocking someone out, yes.
But because he was compos mentis, he was totally fine and played the rest of the game out. It's the highlight of the week.
Yeah, because he didn't knock him out, and he didn't need to suffer a consequence for knocking someone out.
Okay,
that's the difference.
But counter question: that how can you have rules in the world that are outcome based?
Again, this is a sport and a fantasy, and it's grey. It's not black and white. It's not perfect.
All the sport has outcome-based consequences.
Name a sport where it's so black and white and everyone agrees all the time. all the time.
No.
100% of the time.
No, but that's not the question I'm asking. Outcome
I'm
based doesn't
I'm
exist
asking
in
you
that
the question. As in, we can
but Terry,
crack it to shits all we want. There's going to be the next thing this week with a tackle that's similar to another tackle. One guy gets knocked out, one guy doesn't. The consequence will be different. Like, it's unlucky.
No sport exists, Terry, right? But you're not listening to what I'm saying. No other sport has rules based on an outcome. They base it on an action.
No other sport.
No, there would be. There of course, there'd be sports
there's grey
that on
areas.
the
But,
outcome.
do you know what I mean? Like when you're talking
But then
about
that's
career,
it. That's the.
You're talking about
But
a player's career.
It's the grey area, though. It's the grey area.
Okay, and to my point, if you are in charge, either you are stamping out the action or you're stamping out the consequence. And if you are stamping out the consequence, you are never going to win, are you?
We will forever
I don't think
be
so.
in this situation. No. It's going to be. It's consistently. If anything, we've been speaking about this. How many seasons have we done this show? 2.
Yeah, 2. It's every week it comes up.
Someone's going to tackle someone this week. We're going to have the same conversation next week. It's going to be the same.
Yeah, but I think the main issue is 1 week it's 1 week, and then another week it's 4 weeks, and you don't know the difference between the two.
Yeah,
like
I
Alex
agree.
Tyroo, I'm saying, okay, he could have got 1. Why the F did he get 4? Explain that to me. Compared to someone that gets 1 that does a sling tackle. Tell me that.
I agree.
That's
agree. It's inconsistent.
But that is the grey. We're not talking the grey area being choosing which one is reportable. It's why is one fucking 1 week and 1 5?
So what it sounds like is when Michael Christensen, and I don't know who does the VFL stuff, but when Christensen looks at it, he has to, if it gets sent to the tribunal, if the umpire says this is going to the MRP, it has to get graded. So maybe the grading system needs a rejig. That could be another way to look at it.
The matrix, yes.
Yeah.
100% agree. 100% agree.
That could be actually.
But are we? I think the whole grading system definitely needs an overhaul and an upgrade. But I still think no matter what we have, because of the complexity of this sport and the nature of the way it's played, the movements, the physicality, the different body shapes and sizes, we're always going to find ourselves in this situation. I don't think we will get to a point where everyone agrees 100% of the time on suspensions or fines or gradings, or I just don't see a reality where that happens. I'd love it to be that way. Like Matt Owies last year, we were talking about how he threw his head into the turf. Did he not? Like, if he gets knocked out, Maynard gets suspended. If he doesn't, we're debating whether he did it to himself. Like, this is the
I see what you're saying.
That it is.
I see what you're saying, Terry, but I think you're also giving AFL way too much credit as if it's like some kind of alien sport and physicality hasn't existed. It genuinely, I'm telling you, I've watched every sport. It's not as complicated as this island would believe. It really isn't. Right? Human bodies are, but Terry, there isn't. If you have a sport, right, where you are saying the outcome is the problem, right? You'd have to, honestly, I don't know how to say this without being offensive. You'd have to be a moron, right, if you don't think stamp out the action because the action will end the outcome. Because in my opinion, you are saying, you know what we'll do? Instead of banning people for drink driving, what we'll do is we'll just shut pubs at, we'll shut pubs at 9, right? We'll just shut pubs at 9. That'll be fine. That'll stop drink driving, right? That's what the AFL do, where you've got to punish you've got to punish the action. Like the AFL would wait until a kid died from a drink driver before punishing them, but be like, oh, it's all right, you got home safely, no charge. Like, honestly, I'm looking at the AFL in the last 2 years, and I don't think anything has been done apart from over-complex this. And then Michael Christensen, I actually feel sorry for him because I feel like now he's the victim of he has to grade these stupid rules.
Yeah, that's true as well.
When you hear Laura Kane and the CEO of the AFL explain the rules, and even they don't understand them, right? Because they're so grey and so complex. So if I was in charge, I'd be like, right, okay, Paul Curtis tackling from behind, now totally outlawed, 1 week, no matter what happens. That's what you do. You punish the action, irregardless of someone out, or you win the decision, right? Because let's be honest, the AFL don't care about the players. They care about being sued. right?
Yes, because they owe correct. It's all about the duty of care to the players because when the class action comes in the future, the argument will be, did the AFL show a duty of care to protect the head?
Yeah, but if you're just doing it outcome based, like Jack, I don't understand how he can't understand an argument so simple. Punish the action, don't wait for the outcome, because you know what will happen? One day the outcome will be death. And then we'll play this back and go, oh, fucking hell, Pom was a genius. He could have saved that kid's life. So if you actually do care about the outcome...
Do you think Paul Curtis's tackle was a legal tackle and he shouldn't have even been given a free kick against?
Bro, my first instinct, do you know what I mean? I've seen worse. I've seen players get up from that and it carry on.
Play on?
What?
Is it not even a push in the back?
Push in the back.
He won the ball.
What?
From memory, it took a delay, didn't it, until the free kick was given?
I thought it was like the clearest in the back free kick I've seen. I think it was paid.
Was it paid in that's in the back, right?
Yeah, it was paid in the back, but there was a slight delay. And if you watch the commentary were like, great rundown tackle.
So maybe a better example is the Tyroo one. What if Alex was concussed as a result? Then what? The guy runs at him, they clash heads, he gets concussed. What if it was flipped? Same action, and he suffers the concussion. Then what?
Wow, we get even more grey because he was the one that, I guess, initiated
it.
Good luck. I have no idea what happens there.
Yeah,
like
so
you're right. What happens if you initiate contact, knock yourself out, but you were the one that initiated contact?
Well, did he really initiate contact? I don't think so.
Harry did it, didn't he?
Harry
Mackay.
No, he got bumped. Oh,
no, but if you watch it, he's the bigger party. He's leaning in.
Yeah.
So there we are again. Like another grey area. Does Harry get?
So Gross was that a legal shepherd?
It was, yeah.
Okay, so we didn't punish the outcome. He didn't get suspended, Gross. Did he?
No.
Okay, so great. It was just an unlucky accident. Harry got a fractured cheekbone and, like, great. To your point, we're not always just punishing the outcome. Like, it was just a legal block, which was unfortunate that Harry fractured his cheekbone and got concussed.
I feel like you're picking your argument, though, because you're not actually hearing me.
No, you are. You're saying let's just not punish the outcome. I'm saying we didn't punish the outcome with Harry Mackay.
Because I'm saying every in the back needs a week then.
No. You said, are we going to always punish the outcome? I'm saying no. Well, Harry Mackay, great example. He didn't get Tom Gross didn't get suspended for breaking and fracturing Harry's cheekbone and concussing him because it was a legal action.
When there is an infringement, though, it is outcome based, isn't it? So
not always. Harry Mackay example number one.
Yeah.
No, when it is cited, it's black and white. If there is a concussion, you're punished. If there isn't, you get away with it.
I think most of the time when something gets cited, there is a concussion involved. Most of the time.
But it shouldn't be outcome based. Would we agree that you don't let's just say Paul Curtis does that tackle. Let's say
he doesn't get
Sidebar does that tackle. It's identical. One's concussed, one's not. Why is one person getting 3 weeks? Would Sidebottom get 3 weeks if the player was okay? So say it's cold in the back, he gets up, he's fine.
So if Sin doesn't get concussed, I don't know if we're doing a 3 week suspension for Curtis. I agree, but do we have to disregard the concussion?
No.
Yes.
Does it not give context to the actual incident?
I think if you genuinely cared about the player's well-being, it would be the same punishment irregardless. There would be a punishment irregardless of the outcome. It's the action you want to stop. You want to stop the action leading to an outcome. Like for me, if you are agreeing with a rule that's meant to protect something nuanced like head trauma and saying, oh, we just wait until someone gets hurt, you're an idiot. Like you are actually, that's the definition of moronicness to me. Because you should be stopping the action so the outcome never happens.
Great. It's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is the fact that there is a concussion, it adds something to the incident compared to if there is not a concussion. Of course, it has to. Otherwise, there is no there's rarely an incident to talk about. It's because of the incident that there was a concussion. Not every time that we go to the tribunal, but I don't know the stat. I would say most of the time we are in this situation, it's usually because someone's been knocked out. So it has to have some sort of part of the story of the incident. The guy was concussed because of the action.
100%.
How is it not relevant? How is it not relevant? It has to be relevant.
But if you are only judging something outcome based, you're never going to fix it, are you?
No, it's not always. It's not always. We're probably always going to have concussion in the game, and it's going to continue to be grey.
But
I don't think we're gonna get to it by the end of. This is just gonna. We're gonna do this next week.
Perfect example. This conversation is the example of why it's never going to be. By everybody. This is actually exactly what's going on.
So,
all right, guys. Let's just take a breath. It's all love. Uncle Swoop is stepping in. It's all love. It's all love.
Cool.
And if Carlton
stand
for
the Viking. I stand for the Viking.
Let me give you something, boys. If Carlton win and a couple things go your way, you guys are in the A. So. Cheer about that. Cheer about that a little bit.
Let them fight more. Keep going. I'm enjoying this. Listen, can we just close it on this? This is what the VFL said Alex should have done.
Tell me if they came up. Awesome. I was trying to look for that.
Pivoted out of the way. So they gave him argues that he could have done pivoted out of the way from McCarthy. Pivoted out away from him. I don't know how he could have done that. Gone for the ball. Bump in an alternate fashion to not collect him high.
That's stupid.
An alternate fashion. That's making up bullshit now. Bump in a way that we don't know how to describe to avoid the outcome. That's a joke. Yeah, is that all he gets for 4 weeks? Is that the education that they give players now for 4 weeks?
I think it's stiff.
He said he was protecting himself. In real time, it's hard to get out of the way. I don't think I was aware he didn't have the ball. I braced for impact and took the hit. He just came off second best. That's what Alex said. 100%. He just came off second best. Sometimes that's what happens.
I can't believe he's being suspended for 4 weeks. I think it's ridiculous.
Yeah, 4 weeks is...
And there's a VFL bye this week, so it's 5. So
I saw Ralph said 6 because there's a VFL bye at the end of it as well.
Yeah,
awesome.
So it's pretty much a 6 weeks.
Yeah, then he'll have to play another 2 weeks in the VFL, then debut. So the debut for this week is now pushed out for fucking 2 months. Brilliant. I just wanted to see the Flying Viking run around, but
I can't wait
4
to have
weeks.
This exact conversation in 8 weeks from now. It's going to be. Can we have a market for who will tackle who?
That doesn't mean we should accept it, though. We shouldn't just sit here and go, good enough. That's the way it's going to be.
No.
That's not good enough for a professional organisation.
Well, fix the matrix.
It's football. Isn't it a contact sport? Have we lost that somewhere? What's the contact? A hip and shoulder. Is that all the contact we're allowed now? I get more contact in indoor futsal on Wednesday nights.
Thought that was going somewhere else.
Mate, we banned people from using words in this sport.
It's getting to that time, isn't it, Swoop?
Yeah.
Actually, I've got to go for my coffee walk.
I've got a date. I've got a date now, guys. Like, I've got to go.
All right, we'll wrap it up.
Yeah, that was fun. Are there viewers still actually? Are there people actually still commenting and watching? This almost felt like a private chat at the moment.
Do you not read your chat?
Not really. I've been too
Disgrace.
I've been so into what you've been saying, Palm. I've been enthralled. I've been engrossed by what you've been saying.
I was trying to get Tyree off for you, mate. I'm sorry.
Nah. You should have been the lawyer.
Tyree is the most stiff out of anyone who did anything this weekend.
Yeah, can we end it on that? Yes, absolutely.
I agree.
I can't believe I had people saying, "Jake, you're a nutcase. That's 4 weeks in any world." I'm like,
it's not 4 weeks.
Are you joking?
Should be life.
But the question shouldn't be, oh, he got reported, and then the next thing be, oh, was the other bloke concussed? Yeah, oh, well, then he's effed. That shouldn't be the way it ends. There should be more substance to it, more delicate, they should go into more detail, but that's asking for a lot, for people that like to just drink coffee all day.
Let's create the matrix. Let's fix the matrix.
Put the tribunals live, AFL. I want to watch them.
Now that is an idea.
Come on.
That's a good idea.
Let's see if these are real things.
And also, sorry, just quickly, I know we've been doing this for nearly 2 hours. What was Cher's thing? I didn't even see what that was.
Just a love tap to the neck.
What? I love that. I love that he's like, oh, we're wrapping up, but can I ask something that's going to extend this for the next 45 minutes?
It was just a quick thing, and I'll go find the video after this. I just want to know what, because everyone's commenting about it, so I just needed to know.
I'll show you the video.
Let's do it. Let's just see the video.
He had it up already, ready to go.
He was just waiting.
Yeah.
You'll be blown away about it. You'll be blown. And then go and watch the explanation video today on why Hewitt got a fine and Cherry got it. And then you wonder why.
Wait, did Cherry get a week?
Argument.
Did Cherry get a week?
And Hewitt got a fine, and then you wonder why the AFL's in a mess because when they explain it, they don't understand it themselves.
Right.
We should have this every week, by the way, a tribunal segment.
Number 5, right? Okay.
Yeah. Wait a second.
Don't tell me that was it.
That was it.
Yeah, it was. Watch.
No.
So he walks past you.
No. Hang on. Let me fucking zoom in. There's no way that was it.
Put it in the slowest speed you can get.
Yeah, watch it. It's...
Okay. Imagine nothing happens. Oh, there it is there, right there.
Okay, so typical engaging with his
So he's pushing and shoving like what you would do at a bounce?
He might have got him in the face. I think he might have pushed him in the face. So Bose has gone down like he's been shot here.
Does he play out the game? Does he play out the game?
Yeah, he does.
So I think there's a bit of mayo on that.
Oh, mate,
did he get poked?
That's a chicken mayo from McDonald's. The amount he put on that one. Jesus.
I have what I like to call the POM matrix for judging these things, and I imagine if one of the players was my eldest son and the victim is my youngest son, if I saw David do that to Zane and Zane came in crying, he would go to his room for an hour. Zane would go to his room for an hour.
So
unless there's another angle, but that does. And I hate. You guys know I fucking hate Carlton with every fiber in my body, and I would say it as it is. But that looks like that happens all the time. That happens all the time.
So that's the MCG. That's 80,000 people, and this is the only angle we can get. This is the only angle we can get.
I think there is another one, but look, I think he does get him high. I think he gets him in the face here.
So it's a free kick.
They graded it as intentional. So on the technicality, similar to Hewitt last year against Lockie Neal in opening round, he went to push and then got him in the chin. They graded it as intentional, got graded down to careless. He got a fine. I think that's what needs to happen here.
Mate, if you went down red light district in Amsterdam and one of the girls touched you like that, you'd ask for a refund. I mean, come on. Honestly, let's just stop this. I can't deal with it anymore.
So if Bowie's got concussed, then it'll be 4.
That's 4 weeks. Then it's 4 weeks. And if he played for St Kilda, it's 6. All right. On that note,
this is also a question I want to know. How did he break his hand? That's what I want to know.
If you watch it, they go fist to fist.
So it was just like an accidental fist to fist.
That was the first time you actually see him hold his hand. They are doing the whole,
Does the other guy get cited? Did the other guy get cited?
Well, no. Because, I mean, look,
it was like argy-bargy.
Yeah, I'm taking the
If one of them got concussed, probably, yeah. But it's also Dangerfield, so the cheat code is concuss a player or be called Dangerfield.
Yeah. All right, I got to go. Arsenal's on at 5 a.m.
All right,
do this.
All right. Good night, everybody.
Gunner down under. Good night, guys.
Yeah, bring it on.
Enjoy.